إلى زميلي هالة علوان وفقرة موطن الحلم والانجاز. رح نتعرف على قصة تأسيس شركة مايكو بدبي واللي بتركز على تمكين المشاهدين والمبدعين، وذلك من خلال ميزات فريدة مثل الربح أثناء المشاهدة، التمويل التشاركي والإبداع بالمحتوى، والمصدر يلي ألهم الفريق لإنشاء هالشركة. اللقاء طبعا أجرته الزميلة هالة علوان مع الشريك المؤسس ومدير عام الشركة، وراح تسلط من خلاله الضوء على كيفية دعم المنصة للمحتوى الأصلي وتعزيز التنوع والتواصل اللامركزي. منتابع.
بيسعدنا أن يكون معنا اليوم الشريك المؤسس ومدير عام شركة مايكو السيد عمير عثماني. Good morning, عمير. Great to have you here.
Good morning, Halla. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure being here with you on your show.
Thank you. Thank you for being with us. عمير, like out of curiosity, before we dig deeper into the details of the interview, what was the reasoning behind the inception of Maico?
I think for me, the biggest reason was that, I'm a believer in the content industry as a whole, and the fact that a lot of the change in this world is actually going to be driven by new technologies and media. And at the same time, I'm also a believer in blockchain and decentralized technologies. And I feel that the intersection of these two industries has a lot to do for both, because it transcends into some excellent opportunities for the content industry, because it solves challenges on both the viewer side and the creator side, also on the platform side. Because by decentralization, you're actually empowering the consumer, you're giving them a share within the revenues of the content economy, you're actually allowing them to also participate in the creative processes. It's empowering the creators because it's removing barriers to entries, it's giving better monetization shares, it's making platforms more efficient, more transparent. And at the same time, I think most importantly, it's giving a lot of decentralized financing and funding opportunities through DeFi to the creators and filmmakers around us, which opens up so many avenues for all of them, right? So I just believe that, this is an idea that is going to change the way content is consumed, produced, and also distributed around the world. And that's why Maico happened.
Wonderful, wonderful. And did you decide, like, when this idea came and you implemented it here in Dubai or where?
Yeah, so I didn't choose Dubai. It's actually an interesting one that Dubai actually chose me, because it's interesting because I was actually working as the head of marketing. My early career was all media, but then I moved into financial services and I was working as the head of marketing of a bank in Pakistan, which is my native country. And one of the co-owners and the vice chairman of the bank was actually one of the largest groups here. So from there on, they invited me to come and work here, and my last role within Dubai was actually as the chief marketing officer for the Gargash Group. It's one of the largest conglomerates here. So Dubai chose me, but I think I'm very
Dubai always has an eye to pick up like great brains.
Yeah, Dubai does, and I think they have that eye and they have this innate leadership capability.
Yes.
Dubai, the people of UAE, themselves, because I've traveled the world, and essentially I can tell you that there are very, very few nations in the world that can identify talent and then empower that talent at the highest level.
Absolutely.
And at times they tend to empower you, beyond you can even imagine, because, they are that transparent.
Yes.
So that's one of the reasons for the success.
Absolutely. And Omer, also, like, another curiosity I have, because now the trend is Web3 video streaming platform. Everyone is having these great ideas. What makes Maico different? If I want to, like, now go and tell someone about Maico, everyone says, okay, there's so many.
Yeah.
What is your unique value proposition which makes you stand out, like, in this market?
See, I think ideas, a lot of people have ideas, right? But it actually boils down to the execution. And while I know that we were actually the first Web3 streaming platform in the world that started in 2021, at that time, obviously, the platform was a beta platform. We progressed a huge way. But more importantly, I know there are others that have come up, in different parts of the world. but essentially the fact that we've been able to provide to the consumer the content that they eventually need. You know, in the past 2.5 years, Maico has streamed more than 100 plus live sporting events, which includes, you know, all the popular sports like the Cricket World Cup. You know, we've done the English Premier League, we've done tennis, MMA, squash. There's a lot that's been done. But more importantly, I think when I talk about empowerment, you know, we have got more than 7 million users today, and those 7 million users are truly empowered in the sense that they have an economic stake within the revenue of the platform, because we believe that in this new age, the users need to have more than just a passive consumption role within the economy, right? So they're actually getting a share of the monetization as part of the revenue. They're able to also contribute to the creative economy. They have voting rights, you know, they have governance rights. And with that, what we've been able to do is that we've been able to produce more than 200 originals. We've created something which is very popular called the Dubai Film Society. You might have heard about it.
Of course.
And what's happening there is really incredible, because now within this decentralized landscape, not only the viewers are being empowered, but the viewers are getting the capability to give back to the creators, right? And that is giving opportunities to so many new filmmakers, creators. There are no barriers to entry. And it's great for the young generation, you know, both on the consumption side and the creation side.
Yeah, actually, this brings me to a question. If people want to subscribe to Maico, if, for example, do they earn while watching or while creating? How does the model work?
Both. So I'll break it down for you. It's very simple. You know, a traditional AVOD platform, and I'll also start explaining these terms. So AVOD stands for Advertising Video on Demand Platforms, right? Which are all these platforms that are running through ad-supported mediums of revenue. So what they do usually is they do a 50-50 split. So a platform like YouTube, you have a very popular channel on YouTube. So on your channel, there's going to be like a 50% of the revenue that YouTube makes on your content because of the ads that are coming in. They would essentially give to you 50%, they'll keep themselves, right? Within a decentralized landscape, we believe that the platform is only a facilitator. It's only a medium of exchange. And the platform needs to be an on-chain medium of exchange, which means that the platform should not keep part of that revenue. As long as the costs are being net off, the cost of the video infrastructure and the streaming is being net off, then the revenue needs to be distributed between you and the people who are watching it, right? So we do like a 65-35 split on all revenues, which is why it's great for content creators and it's also great for users.
Yeah, and mentioning content creation, you also support native content. And this would distinguish you, like one of the objectives you wanted from Maico. What does this mean? Like, because now we see a lot of, for example, video streaming platforms which are having certain target audience or certain trend or working in silos or the traditional way of content. Why did you want to support native content and how are you doing that?
Yes, so essentially, one of the most important problems within the content industry as a whole, and obviously I spent the first 10 years of my life doing, you know, working in traditional media businesses. So
you do crowdfunding, right?
Yes, so because financing remains one of the biggest problems right now within the content industry. You know, if you're a rising filmmaker, you're great, you know, you're extremely talented, but if you haven't had that first opportunity, you know, and you know this because you're part of the media industry as well, it's very difficult to get that first opportunity, right?
Absolutely.
But if you can get that decision and distribute that decision in the hands of the people who are watching content, right, then there are more opportunities for filmmakers. And there's more transparency, there's more openness, and people can come up with their stories. As long as they have a community backing their story, there should be no one stopping them.
Yeah. Absolutely. Umair, I would like to end our conversation about sustainability and future generation, which is the youth. I have youth at home. I have a son who is 15 years old. If I want to go now home and tell him about Maico, what's the attractiveness in this decentralized platform for him to engage with Maico? How can we attract the youth watching us?
I think the youth today is, you know, if you talk about the Gen Z, this generation as a whole, it's a very interesting generation because they want more with everything, right? And I can say this because, you know, my elder son, he's like 11 years old. And if I, you know, it's funny, but, you know, if I ask him to fetch me a glass of water right across the living room, right, he would be like, okay, Dad, but what's in there for me, right? So this new generation, they really want something for themselves. They want more, right? And the fact that they need more empowerment is already proven. It's not like Micro is the first platform that is saying it. At a platform level, probably yes. What Micro is doing, essentially, we're trying to empower the youth at a platform level.
Yes.
You know? For the youth, it is an idea that, you know, its time has come, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Umair, wishing you all the best with Micro and the rest of the team. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you. Thank you.